A young intern walks into a busy office, and one employee leans over to his coworker and says, "That's the most clueless intern you'll ever see. Watch this." He holds up a $10 gift card in one hand and two $2 coins in the other. "Hey kid," he calls out. "Which one do you want?" The intern looks carefully, picks the 2 coins, and walks away. The employee smirks. "See? Told you. No idea." Later, the coworker spots the same intern at the vending machine. Curious, he asks, "Hey, why do you always take the coins? Don't you know the gift card is worth more?" The intern smiles, grabs his snack, and says, "Of course I know, but the day I take the gift card is the day they stop offering me coins." A young guy walks into a small electronics shop and asks the owner, "Do you have any gaming headphones on sale?" The owner smiles and says no. The guy leaves. The next day, he comes back and asks, "Do you have any gaming headphones on sale?" Again, the owner says no. On the third day, the guy shows up and asks the same thing. Now the owner gets annoyed and says, "Listen, if you asked me about headphones one more time, I'm banning you from the store." The guy nods and leaves. The next day, he walks back in and asks, "Do you ban customers from this store?" The owner says, "No." The guy smiles and says, "Well then, do you have any gaming headphones on sale?" A man had a rough year. He lost his job and his confidence and felt like everything was falling apart. One afternoon, feeling completely defeated, he stood on the edge of a rooftop, staring out over the city. That's when he noticed someone in the park below, dancing, wiggling, and humming happily. Looking closer, he realized the guy was juggling life with way fewer advantages than him, yet still smiling and moving like he didn't have a care in the world. The man paused and thought, "What am I doing? If he can be that happy, I've got no excuse to give up." He rushed downstairs and ran over to him. "Hey, I just want to say thank you," he said. "I was feeling hopeless, but seeing you so happy gave me a reason to keep going." The dancing guy kept twisting and shifting around. The man asked, "What's your secret? How do you stay so positive?" The guy replied, "I'm not being positive. My back just itches like crazy." Jake went to spend a few days with his elderly uncle, who lived alone in a small countryside workshop. On the first morning, his uncle made him breakfast, toast and eggs. Jake noticed the plate looked a bit questionable and asked, Uncle, are these plates clean?" His uncle smiled and said, "They're as clean as quick wash can get 'em. Now eat up." At lunch, his uncle made sandwiches. Jake looked down and spotted what looked like leftover crumbs stuck to the plate. Trying to be polite, he asked again, "Uncle, are you sure these dishes are clean?" His uncle replied, "I already told you, they're as clean as quick wash can get 'em." Later that day, Jake was heading out when a big old dog blocked the doorway, growling. Jake called out, "Uncle, your dog won't let me leave." From the other room, his uncle shouted, "Quick wash! Move out of the way!" A politician visited Workers Anonymous in order to get more information about how these women in his community were doing. He meets 3 poor prostitutes and speaks to them about how their lifestyle is hurting them, and that depending on how often they are engaged in the business, he would provide them with safe and affordable housing. The first prostitute says that she hasn't had a client in 2 months, and being impressed, he gives her the keys to her own 2-bedroom apartment. The second prostitute says she hasn't seen a client in 1 month, and so he gives her the keys to a studio apartment. The third prostitute says she still sees clients, and so he gives her the keys to his room. A new trainer is teaching a group of interns the meaning of the word "definitely." To test them, he asks everyone to use it in a sentence. One intern says, "The office is definitely busy." The trainer replies, "Well, not always, sometimes it's quiet." Another says, "My laptop is definitely fast." The trainer nods. "Maybe, but it can slow down sometimes." Finally, One intern raises his hand and asks, "Sir, do keyboard clicks ever come out wet?" The trainer looks confused and says, No, not really." The intern pauses, then says, "Then I definitely just spilled coffee on myself." At a big corporate seminar, the CEO gathered all employees for a leadership exercise. He announced, "I want all the team leads to form 2 lines. 1 line for those who truly make independent decisions, and 1 line for those who just follow instructions from others." All the managers stepped aside to observe. Soon, 1 line stretched across the entire hall, full of people who admitted they mostly followed directions. The other line? Just 1 person standing alone. The CEO looked at the crowd and said, "This is disappointing. I expect leaders to think for themselves. Only one of you seems to do that. Everyone should learn from this person." He walked over to the lone employee and asked, "So tell me, how did you manage to stand here alone?" The employee shrugged and said, "My supervisor told me to stand here." 2 guys were exploring an old abandoned warehouse when they came across a massive, dark pit in the floor. Curious, one of them picked up a small metal bolt and dropped it in. They waited. No sound. "That's deep," one said. "Let's try something bigger." They grabbed a heavy toolbox and pushed it into the pit. They listened. Still nothing. Now really intrigued, they spotted a big steel beam nearby. After a lot of effort, they dragged it over and shoved it into the hole. Not a single sound. Suddenly, a large dog came sprinting across the warehouse, dashed past them, and jumped straight into the pit. The 2 guys stood there in shock. A moment later, a security guard walked in. "Hey," one of them said, "did you lose a dog? We just saw one run in here and jump into that hole." The guard frowned and said, "No, that can't be mine. My dog was tied to a steel beam."